Welcome to Cult Connections. Let's see what we are taking a sideways look at today. Hello everybody and welcome back. It is Ian here. Now, in the words of Mike the Nesmith, today I am travelling to Rio. That can only mean one thing. It is my favourite Brazilian podcaster. It is the Senorita of Terror herself. It is Miss Rapha Ximenes. Boa tarde, Rafa.
Boa tarde, Ian.
I think I got that right.
Yes, it was good.
So today we are talking Rio. We are talking Carnavale.
Mm-hmm.
We might also talk a little bit about Macumba. I think that is the
Yes,
right way
it's
to say it.
Macumba, yes.
Macumba, yeah. So we are talking about non-Brazilian films which are set in Brazil. They're specifically Rio, although the third one does sort of travel about a bit. Now for you, Rafa, I just wanted to ask what sort of feelings do you get when foreign sort of film makers make films in their country?
Well, it's a weird feeling because you can see the what they think about Rio, but it's it's funny when you think like a movie from the 70s and a movie from the 90s and then a movie closer to Rio. And I understand that they need to do some liberties to the film to work,
Mm-hmm.
but in the old films, you can see a lot of prejudice, And now I think it's funny, but because you know that the world understand that Rio and people in Brazil, it's not like the films show.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. I think certainly in the film that we're going to talk about at the end, actually, which is from the early '90s. Yeah, there's some very dodgy bits in that.
Yes.
Indeed. Um, However, we're going to start with actually the most modern film, and this is a big film, a family film. So we are going to 2011, and we are talking about Rio. So so the animated film. Um, Now, before we start, Rafa, and I'm going to ask this for every film. Um, so it gets to the Rio itself. They're the place, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and you see the beach and the buildings.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you don't live that far from the beach,
Yes, I live
so
close to
mhm,
Copacabana Beach. Very, very
yeah.
close.
So what I'd like to ask you, Rafa, is can we see your house where you live on this film?
No. No, unfortunately no, but you can see bits of the beach that's 5 minutes from my house.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
and it's nice when you recognize places that you go out every day. That's
Uh-huh.
very familiar to you. It's very
Yeah.
nice when you see it on films.
Well, what I will ask, because obviously it is the animated film,
Mm-hmm.
so they've had to create Rio in this
Yes.
animated world. So does it look vaguely like it should do? Is that quite
Yes.
good?
Yes, but Carlos Saldanha is from Rio, the director of the film. He's from
Hmm.
Rio. So he knows Rio well, and the film it has some bits that's a little bit weird because when they are on the beach, when they arrive from the in Rio and they are
Uh-huh.
on the beach in the car, and
Yeah.
then it seems like they are in Leblon, Ipanema, but suddenly they are in Copacabana, and I was a bit confused. And I was like, wait, this is real. It is you know. But I understand because it's animation. It's a cartoon for kids all over the world. They
Yeah,
had to did some make some changes and use some liberties to show very famous places in Rio. You know.
yeah, yeah. Well,
So.
so now you'll understand, Rafa, how us as the British people, when we see London
Mm-hmm.
on film, and we know, so you might see a cab ride or something like that in the film, and it's going past landmarks, and we know, wait, wait a minute, that's not how you get there, and
Yes.
such as, yeah,
Yes. Yes.
and
It's in the Rio. There is a part that they are. I think it's in the favela, something like that, where
uh-huh,
the birds are in the cage. You know.
yeah.
And suddenly they are in Lapa, and I was like, "Wait, they are in Vidigal. Vidigal is a favela in Leblon that's far
Hmm.
away from Lapa. Lapa is in the center of the city, you know." And I was like, "Wait, how they get there so quick, you know?"
Yeah. So now you know how we feel, because every
Yes,
London film is like that. It is exactly the same. Um,
yes,
so Rio, and it's a story of a the domesticated, the macaw, who
hmm,
lives in the Minnesota. His name's Blue, and he meets a fearlessly independent Jewel, and he takes off on an adventure around Rio, with the bird of his their dreams. Now, there is a environmental sort of message in this, is that these
yes,
two birds are the last of their
yes,
kind, which I always enjoy. I always like to see a message within a family film, as it were. I think it
yes.
is it is good to tell, wider sort of things, isn't it?
I like it a lot, this film, because of all of a lot of things. I think it's lovely. It's you like the birds in the film. You keep thinking, oh my god, they are doing a film about birds, but in the end you like all the birds. And it's a nice film. Everybody in the film, it's nice. The girl from Minnesota and the guy from Brazil, and the little kids that it's in the film. And I like to show Rio and Carnaval in a such, like, positive way, because they show
Mhm.
Rio in a very, very positive way, like with the happiness and all the beautiful places that we have here, because it is a beautiful city. So I think it's a nice film. I really think that people that watch this film want to come here, and have this
Yeah,
nice feeling that you have in the film. I really like that.
it's, I now I'm not going to say I'm not a fan of sort of family animations, but
Hmm.
I don't. To be fair, Rafa, I don't go out of my way to watch them. You
Yes.
know, um, but you can't really not like this film if you don't, if you're sitting watching it and you don't like it, then oh dear, I think that says something about you as a person, because like I say, it is nice. You can't really not like it.
Yes.
Now, I am going to talk about the voices just sort of
Hmm.
shortly, but for me, Rafa, and what I'd like to ask you is that when you first saw this film, was it in the English or in?
Yes.
It was, right.
Yes.
Okay.
Here in Brazil, they show the film in the cinema in Portuguese, dubbed in Portuguese, with Brazilian actors. Even
Hmm.
the the, the American Girl and the Bluebird.
Yeah.
But you have the original version too, with subtitles. You can watch with subtitles,
Uh
you
huh.
know.
Okay.
But
So.
the blue, it's arara azul. That's how we
Uh
call
huh.
him in Brazil. He's as arara azul. The blue macaw. Yes.
A blue macaw, yeah.
Yes.
So it's interesting for the voices. So obviously now Jesse Eisenberg plays
Mm-hmm.
Blue, um, and he's good at that. I think he's the right sort of character. Blue himself
Yes.
is he's a bit nervous. He's not very confident, and he's very good at that. Now Anne Hathaway plays Jewel, and I was a little bit like, should we not
Yes.
have had the
I
Brazilian actress?
yes,
You
I
know,
remember. I remember when this film was going to be released. A lot of people think that should be a Brazilian actress because you
hmm
can have a lot of Brazilian actors that speak English, because Jill it has that sassy and um, way, very very carioca way to be, and Anne
yeah.
Hathaway is totally American, so
Yeah, I don't. Now you did a little jiggle there, Rafa, and I don't really, um, I don't, I don't really envisage Anne sort of Hathaway being like that either. To be fair, so I think, I think that's a really valid point there that you've made. Yeah, she doesn't, she doesn't quite have that, does she?
yes.
Yeah. Now, one of the interesting bits that I took from this film, and for you to kind of touch on, Rafa, we have the birds, and we see lots of other bird
Mm-hmm.
species in it.
Yes.
Obviously sort of native to
Yes.
their sort of Rio and their Brazil now. Now they're very sort of colourful.
Yes.
Most of them very very sort of bright. Now in Britain, now we do have some nice looking sort of birds. We do have some sort of
Yes.
colourful ones, but generally, I was brown, a bit boring. They're not like what you get, okay? But I do know even where you live, you get do you get their parrots and the
Yes.
things like that? Yeah, haha.
Yes. I have parrots here in my house. Now it's not time for them. I don't think they like the hot weather because now it's
Uh-huh.
really hot here in Rio. But during the winter, because our winter it's really nice. It's not cold. So during a big part of the year, you have a lot of uh, it's little parrots that we call, and they come here and they ask for food, and I put some fruits for them, and they really enjoy. And they are very
hmm
talkative. It's really nice. I really like them. But we
Yeah.
have a lot of birds here, lots. Like the film, you have a lot of birds all over the place because
Yeah.
Hill has like a forest all over the city. The city
hmm
it's between the mountains and the beach, so you have
Yeah.
all kinds of animals and birds all over the
Yeah.
city.
Yeah.
Even
And then
the little monkeys that you see in the film, once one of the little monkeys come here,
all right, okay.
came here. It was really
Yeah.
nice.
Oh well. Um so we do have, so as we spoke about, the carnival starts soon, isn't it?
Yes,
Is
it
it
would
next
be two
is it
weeks
next
in
week? 2 weeks. Uh-huh.
2 weekends.
Uh-huh.
The Let me see. I think it's 22, something like that. No, not 22. I think it's 20, 25. It should be the
So
Friday of Carnival, and then
yeah. Yeah.
you have like almost a week of Carnival here.
Now, Rafa, and I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but obviously Carnival plays a big part, not just in
Yes,
their
it's
sort of Rio, but
no, it's in the whole
their sort of
country. Yes,
countrywide. Yeah. Now, one of the things that I say we sort of British people, they're sort of Americans as well, probably, that we associate with the carnival, and and this film shows it. And this applies to every their sort of gender as well. There, Rafa.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
People are not really wearing much in the way of
No.
their clothes, are they?
No, because of the heat. You know, you have no idea. You don't. For me, in this, I know that doesn't sound okay, but for me, in the summer, if we could wear bikinis all day long because it's really hot here. In
Yeah,
January, you can go to 47, 46 during the day, you know.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
and
I'll just stop you there, Rafa. So we are talking. So we are talking. There's Celsius there. Okay, so I do
yes,
have a lot
yes,
of
yes. I'm sorry.
American.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
so
47, 46 Celsius. It's really
yeah,
hot.
so I am aware I do have a lot of
Yes.
their American their listeners now. Now, 47 for them is actually freezing. You know,
Yes,
it's
I
really
know.
cold. But if it's in their Celsius, yeah, that is super hot. That is super hot. Um, you are right. As a family film, it's a little bit saucy. Even
Yes, but
there are the
it's
skimpy costumes and
yes,
a bit
but
of jiggling
yes,
about, as it were. Yeah.
but it's I don't know. For us, it's not, you know, like because we always wear a lot shorts and bikinis and tops with we don't wear too much clothes during
No.
summer, but I know that sounds bad, but it's not like you wear a lot of dresses. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
during yeah, on and during Carnival we go to the streets to dance and to drink and to be happy. So all we use costumes, or we use like just a short and a t-shirt and that's
Yeah.
it, you know,
Yeah. To be.
because
To,
it's
mhm.
everybody, it's like that since the little
Yeah.
child, you know.
Yeah. It's just normal, isn't it? Now,
Yes.
to be fair, Rafa, where I live now, if we were to try something like that, we would only really have about two sort of days where it's warm enough. The rest of the time, it's either freezing cold, windy,
Yeah.
or they're raining. So yeah, I get. I think that's a fair point. It really is. Again, just getting back to Rio, it is. It's a good fun film. I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't seen it. It
Yes.
follows the story goes how you feel it will. I mean, don't
Yes.
expect anything, innovative, but it is good fun. I tell you what, I did like is that you saw lots of aspects of the city itself,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I wouldn't say they were sort of portrayed
No.
in a sort of negative way either.
No.
So I did enjoy that.
The only thing that I I have a problem in the film, it's the, you know, the bird with the big beak, the
Uh
tucano.
huh. Yeah.
It's a Mexican, I think, actor. And the
Okay.
tucano, it's a very, very Brazilian bird. They could
A toucan.
call
Yeah. Uh
somebody,
huh.
yeah, they could call
Yeah.
somebody from Brazil to do the voice, you know, because they use some Spanish Latin people to do
Yeah.
the Brazilian, you know, the characters. And I love Latin America. I really love Latin America. I love to live here, but we already have problems because we speak Portuguese, and some people think that Portuguese and Spanish is the same, and it's not. We don't understand
Hmm.
Spanish, and they don't understand Portuguese, and the accent is totally different, you know.
Yeah.
So I think if they put some Brazilian people to do the Brazilian characters, it should be a little bit more funny, I think, and a little bit more carioca. That's the people from
Okay.
Rio. We are
Uh-huh.
cariocas, you know. But I really, really enjoyed the film. I like the film. I think the film has the proper vibe. It shows you what's to being real. It's what is. It's how I feel when living here,
Yeah.
it's all the time very colorful and with happy people and nice people, I really like this film.
Yeah, yeah, I did like it, and it was, and I don't say that lightly when it comes to an animated film either. But it is good. It was fun there to
Yes.
watch. Now we are going to move on, Rafa.
Yes.
Um, we're going to go all the way back to 1979,
Oh my god.
and this is a film I I really love this film, and I watch it at least every 6 months.
Okay.
Um, and I think Rio, for us in Britain, Rio and Brazil is a exotic location.
Mm-hmm.
It's somewhere where we think, oh, lovely weather and great
Mm-hmm.
sights and the wildlife and all that kind of thing, and a series of films that absolutely sum up visiting exotic locations around the world are, of course, the James Bond films,
Yes.
and the Bond himself did go to Rio in 1979 in the fabulous Moonraker. I love this film. Um, it's it's great fun. It is.
Yes.
I just absolutely love it. Um, for you, Rafa, so what I would like to know about though, so I know you do like Bond,
Yes, a lot.
um, a lot, yeah, but you came there to Bond a bit later, didn't you? So,
Yes, but this film, it's a big thing here because it was the first big film outside Brazil that talked about Rio and showed Rio and showed the Sugarloaf and
hmm,
showed a little bit of the city and Carnival in a good way. It's not in a
hmm,
bad way. It's in a good way,
no,
you know.
yeah, uh-huh,
And people will still talk about this film until today. People in Brazil really, really like. Well, don't like a lot this film, but like that they show Rio. They put James Bond in Rio. For us,
yeah,
it's a
yeah,
big thing. There is
yeah,
a scene that in the film that he goes on the beach and then he goes to a street, and this the street that my friend lives. And
okay, right, yeah, uh-huh.
I told her James Bond crossed your street.
Yeah. So
This is nice to see that.
that is absolutely brilliant. I would love that, Rafa. I can't see James Bond turning up in Arbroath at all. To be honest, it's not going to happen. So that's absolutely great. So we can't see your house, but we can see your friends. So
Yes.
yeah. Um, so so for this one, so the Bond investigates the mid-air theft of a space shuttle and discovers a plot to commit global the genocide, like you do, of course, as what happened. They're directed by Bond, the veteran Lewis, the Gilbert. So what we do have there, Rafa, now I will admit this one now. Probably one of the reasons I love the Moonraker so much, because in Bond terms, it does get a little bit of this sort of criticism for some aspects of it. But what I love about it is this is the first Bond film I ever saw at the
Okay,
cinema.
that's nice.
Yeah, and being sci-fi daft and things like that. The fact that Bond ends up in space, um,
That's so
I
funny.
love that. Yeah, it's absolutely great.
But
I love it.
the thing is, he's in Amazonia and suddenly he's in the space, and I was like, what the hell is going on? I had a lot of fun watching this film.
Yeah, I love
It's
it. I
it's
mean,
so funny. It's very funny.
it's
I'm sorry, but it's very funny.
Well, but it's meant to be funny
Yes.
though thereafter it's meant to have the comedy bits. Now this is what I wanted there to ask you about. So I know for you your first Bond was the Dalton, so the Timothy Dalton.
In the
So,
cinema, yes,
yeah,
because I
uh-huh.
started to watch with Roger Moore on TV, but I don't remember which one.
Hmm.
So
Um,
I remember to go to the cinema to watch
yeah.
the Timothy Dalton.
Hmm.
But
So yeah, and sort of Dalton is a more sort of serious
yes,
sort of portrayal of their Bond.
yes,
He's quite hard sort of edged, as it were. Roger Moore, who I love, he's my favourite
yes,
Bond.
I like him a lot too.
Um, but he's very smooth, isn't he? He's very suave, as it
Yes.
were. And he's got a natural, um, their sort of comedic way of sort of doing things. So even when he's sort of killing folk, it is
Yeah.
quite sort of humorous, isn't it?
Yes, but it's nice. I, I like that. I like that James Bond can be serious but very fun at the same time. I
Hmm.
think I like Roger Moore and I like Pierce Brosnan because Pierce Brosnan keep uh, take that back. Like because Timothy Dalton, he was a little bit too serious,
Hmm.
and Pierce Brosnan understands what's to be James Bond. You have to have
I
fun with that.
I think I think that's interesting because I would say sort of Connery
Yes, I like him.
is a bit. Oh yeah, absolutely. I like everyone, but sort of Connery's a,
Yes.
a little bit more on the serious
Yes.
side. Roger Moore, like you say, a bit more fun. Sort of Dalton again, a bit more serious. Yeah, you're right. Sort of the Brosnan films had a lot of
I like
fun things going on.
I know that
Yeah,
they are not the best ones, but I have a lot of fun watching all the Pierce Brosnan's film.
a lot of people now. I know my their Spy Hards friends love their
Hmm.
Pierce Brosnan. So I'm just giving this shout out there to them because they absolutely love him. But again, sort of Daniel Craig a bit more serious. So
Yes.
I do wonder actually, Rafa, if the
But
next Bond needs to be
yes.
a bit more Roger Moore like. I
I
would really like that.
I like what they did with Daniel Craig because he starts to learning how to be James Bond, and
Hmm.
then suddenly he is James Bond, and in the end he's having fun being James Bond, and I like that. I like that how the character grows from
There is a
film to
development
film.
there.
Yes,
Yeah, haha. But it's a very modern way. It's what we expect as
yes,
a
yes. But
as a sort of modern.
I like a lot the new films. I
Yeah.
like a lot James Bond. It's hard to me to get which one I like more and which my favorite film.
Well, I know which ones mine are. So, and it's funny because my favourite their Bond is actually the one that there precedes this one, which is the Spy Who Loved Me. Um,
Yes, I like this
there
film
are,
a lot.
I absolutely love it. Now, Moonraker is almost a carbon sort of copy of it. Pretty, they're very similar in many ways. They're quite beat for
Yes.
beat films. Um, and another interesting thing, and I did watch their Spectre prior to watching
Mm-hmm.
the new Bond film not that long ago, and um, Spectre shows it's in the Mexico City at the start,
Mm-hmm.
and it shows their festival. I think it's the the festival of the dead.
Yes, it's the
So the
day of
people are dressed.
the Day de los
Aha.
Muertos. Yes.
Yes, aha, yeah.
The,
Which again, and that actually reminded me of the Moonraker because
mm-hmm.
Bond goes to the Rio and it is.
during
the
Carnival.
yeah,
Yes,
Carnival time, yeah. So, and again, that fits in with the globe sort of trotting and all those things that make Bond, great. I think.
yes, and
Um,
before we continue, since we start to talk about Carnival, I would like to talk about just one thing that happened in Rio, the
uh huh,
movie, and that happened in Bond. And I need to say, you it's impossible to go to the parade, like in
uh
Rio,
huh,
like in James Bond. You can't go through the parade. It's a big thing for us. It's like our Super Bowl,
uh
It's
huh,
when it starts, you have your favorite school of samba. Everybody in Rio has your favorite school of samba,
uh huh,
and it's a very serious thing. The school of samba, they put a lot of money in the parade, and each one has grades, and you have jury, so it's impossible to go through the parade like they do in Rio and like they do in James
okay,
Bond.
yeah, uh
I really need to say that
huh.
because it's a big
Well,
thing for us. The parade,
yeah,
it's a
yeah,
really big thing for us in Rio.
uh huh,
We
yeah,
we watch it on TV, and we cheer for our favorite school of samba, and we watch the grades, and each year one of them win Carnival,
uh huh, yeah,
so it's a big thing for us. So when
yeah,
they like in Rio, they put like the people in the middle of the parade, and then in James Bond they show the parade and James Bond going through with
yeah.
people, and I was like, no, you can't do that. This is not a good way to show that.
To be fair, though, I mean, I think I'm not going to excuse Rio. I will excuse Bond because
Yes,
he's James Bond, and and they and to be fair, Rafa Jaws is there as well. You're not really
yes,
going to argue with him either. So
yes.
yeah,
But
um,
in James Bond, it's not a big deal because it's in '79 and it's very quick in the film. But
it
in
is.
Rio,
Yeah,
it's a big thing in the film. And
yeah.
Carlos Saldanha, it's from Brazil and it's from Rio. And I was like, how could him do that? I understand that's important for the story, but I was like, no, you can't do that. You can't just take part of the parade because you want.
Yeah. Um, so now I'm going to comment on this one, Rafa. Now, Bond gets up to his usual things. So he comes to Rio.
Yes,
He's got a bit of spare time. So it's obvious what he's going to do, isn't it? He's going to have a bit of what we call "How's your father," uh, while he's waiting on finding out what the next stage is.
yes,
Um, I think it's interesting with the Daniel Craig films where he doesn't have as much romantic their liaisons as he did back in the 1970s. So, but
yes.
uh, it's interesting though. I think I think if anybody needs to go to to the sexual health uh, their um, their clinic, then they're
Mm-hmm.
definitely Bond because
Yes,
yeah, he's
yes,
a bad boy.
yes. But I like that it's that part changes a bit because even in this movie, when he's with the girl in the hotel when he arrives in Rio, and he
Uh huh.
starts to talk to her, and he instantly is starting to take off her clothes, and I was like, wait, this is harassment. This is not nice.
No,
I understand that he's James Bond, but
yeah,
everybody has a limit. So, but I understand it's a '79 film, so
exactly. Yeah, and I can think of a lot worse things that we
yes,
see in other films from that
yes,
time,
yes,
um, yeah, definitely. Now, one interesting thing about this film, Rafa, and something that feels amazingly modern there to me. So the main villain is Hugo. Um, their Drax. Now, this is a billionaire character. This sort of technology. They developed his space, their shuttles and his rockets, and it's made me think of the likes of Elon Musk, their Richard
Yes,
Branson.
yes, with the
Um,
rocket thing and everything else, and
yeah,
his
um,
ideas. Yes,
I do have this vision in my head that when the Earth goes wrong, environmentally, when things turn to shit, that
yes,
these are the people who are getting in their rockets and they are buggering off.
yes.
So this very much did feel quite sort of fresh in a way.
Yes, yes, I totally agree. When I was watching, I thought of that. I was thinking maybe Elon Musk watched this film and think, oh, look, this is a good
Hmm.
idea. I will go do the same.
Uh-huh.
you
Now
know?
yeah, definitely. Now, Rafa, he might not. Now, Elon Musk might not have some some sort of poison from some fancy
Hmm.
flowers that are only found somewhere very
Yes,
rare. But I could imagine his their Tesla cars are going to do something, wipe out the population, and he's disappearing off in his in his
he,
rocket somewhere.
yes, he's
Um,
totally a supervillain of a superhero movie or from a James Bond movie.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah, he definitely is, isn't he? Yeah. I
Yes,
mean, he even sounds like one. Even that their
yes,
name. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
um. So obviously Carnival. We see there the beach, and we
yes,
see the cable cars now. Rapid. We
yes.
have a great
That's
sequence.
the best scene of the movie. I think it's
Uh huh.
in the Sugarloaf with the
Yeah.
cable cars
Uh,
and James Bond
Now.
trying
Yeah.
to just have a
Yeah.
good time and he's attacked and this.
Yeah.
I think it was. I think it's the one of the most famous scenes on a James Bond film, isn't
It
it?
is. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. 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 It's an iconic scene. How does it feel to now? Now I will assume, Rafa, that you've been up this cable
Yes,
car.
yes,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and
So how does it feel
yeah,
being somewhere and you know it's on a
it's
film?
it's really high. It's really really high. The the Sugarloaf, the the Sugarloaf mountain. That's the last
Hmm.
one. When you
Yeah.
see, it. You have two mountains. The first one and the second one is the Sugarloaf. It's the highest one. It's one
Yeah.
of the highest mountains in Rio. You know, like I think the where is the Christ? It's a little bit higher. Yes, it's
Hmm.
higher. Where is the Christ is way higher,
Uh-huh.
and we have other mountains, but this is a very very high mountain, you know.
Hmm.
And when you see James Bond there in the cable, not in the
Yeah.
cable car, but in the cable, I was like, oh my god, this is really dangerous and this is really, really
Yeah.
high, you know.
Yeah.
But it's an amazing scene, it's very well done.
Uh-huh.
And what happened, it's very exciting. I really like this scene.
Yeah, I do like it. I do like it. And we have and there's a lovely ending in a way as well, as that the Jaws finds a bit of
Yes.
their romance as well.
Yes.
After that. Um, and then and then obviously moving on from that, we get to Drax's secret hideout. That's obviously out in
Yes.
the rain their forest.
He
Then
goes
of
to
course it.
Amazonia. He
Aha.
goes to Amazonia, in the middle of Amazonia. But first, I need to talk about something that happened in the film. That, of course, for you, it's not like you don't notice, but for me, it was really
Aha.
funny because he
Okay.
was in Rio. He was
Yeah.
picked by a ambulance, and the ambulance goes to a hill, and suddenly he goes out of the ambulance, right? You remember the
Yeah.
scene? And he's
Aha.
going uphill, and suddenly he's in this field with a horse and a gaúcho,
Uh
and he's in the south of Brazil. He's not in Brazil. He's not in Rio anymore. You
huh.
know, and I
So
was
yeah.
like, wait, what happened? You know, he's really in. I don't know if he's even in Brazil anymore, because he could be in the south of Brazil, or he could be in Argentina, or he could be in Uruguay. You know, I really
Uh
don't
huh.
know what's happening there, because that construction and the place that they are could be in
Uh huh.
Brazil and could be outside Brazil, you know. It's in the
Yeah.
south of Brazil, it's not in Rio. And I was like, wait, what's going on?
I
And
suppose, and again, that's what happened. You know, like we said at the start about,
yes,
um, about if you visit London, do not expect it to be quite like the films, because,
yes,
that's not what we see. But um, it is funny, isn't it? It is odd when you get sort of taken out of a film like that. Um, but that's also the magic of
but
of the
it's
films as well. That
because it's just because I don't I really don't mind. I think it's funny in the end. But what what was really funny, it's because the scene just changed, you know. He's
yeah.
doing one thing and suddenly he's doing other thing in another place, very far away from Rio, and I was like, wait, what's going on? You know.
um, Might just saying that, Rafa, it ends up and we're in
Yes,
space, so
yes, yes.
let's face it, we're gonna have to leave um their sort of normality, any sense
Yes,
of of reality back in
yes.
in their Rio, because yeah, haha, it
Yes,
doesn't make any sense.
he goes to Amazonia, and then he is in this middle of this kingdom with a lot of nice, beautiful people. And it remind me a little bit of the Wonder Woman island in the middle of
Yeah,
Amazonia, you know. And then suddenly he's in a rocket, so I was like, okay, never mind.
exactly. And then yeah, and then the Americans launched their space shuttles, and suddenly it's all Space Force, and there's laser guns, and
Yes.
yeah, haha.
And
Um,
yes. The scenes are very funny.
I know for a lot of Bond fans, a lot of spy film fans, that um, this is just a bit sort of too far for them. They need a bit more. The sort of seriousness. It's a bit too sort of fun.
Yes.
They're sort of they're sort of tastical for them.
Hmm.
I don't care. I absolutely love it. So I
But it's
really
a
don't
lot.
mind.
It's really. I think for us in Brazil, it's a lot of fun to watch this film. You know.
Yeah. And I can see why you like it, or why it's spoken about a lot. And
Yes.
yeah, definitely. I think Bond actually does you
And
quite sort of proud.
I like that he's in Venice, and he thinks, well, I need some break, so I go to Rio. He's already in Venice, that it's a nice city too. It's a nice place to relax, and he decided, no, I want to relax. I'll go to Rio. You know, this is a
To
nice
be
thing.
fair, yeah. Although to be fair though, Rafa, no matter where he goes, people are always trying to kill him. So
Yes.
yeah. Um, we are going to move on. So we've seen obviously Carnival. We've gone to the rainforest.
Yes.
Um, this time we're going to talk about a different side of
Yes.
of sort of Brazilian, the sort of culture, heritage.
Yes.
Um, we are talking about an Italian film, which I always love there to talk about because they are so great. So we're going back to 1991 with Demoni 3, or Demons 3, which is also known as Black Demons. Now, just to clarify, Rafa, this is marketed as a sequel to the Lam the Lam Bava's the Demons films. But it's not really, is it? It's nothing to do with him.
No, I don't think so.
No. Um, there is a, funnily enough, there is a TV film which was produced by the
Yes,
Bava, which is also called Demons 3. However, this is not it. This is a totally different one. Um, so this one, three college day students and another couple, and their housekeeper are besieged at a remote Brazilian plantation by a group of zombies raised from the grave by a voodoo curse. Is
yes,
uh, is what the plot says. Now, I will admit to being a bit sort of disappointed in this one, Rafa, because it's
yes,
they're directed by Umberto Lenzi, who's made some pretty decent films.
yes. I don't know
Um,
what happened this one.
I
And
think I think they didn't have any money. Basically, is the
yes, yes, but he could do a. It could be a good horror film, because he has
yeah,
all the good elements of a good horror film, and using the Brazilian culture, but he makes everything, and in the end goes really bad, because in the end the film is really racist, and the film
yeah,
is really really, and what he do with the macumba and candomblé, that's a big thing in Brazil that we respect a lot. It's
uh
really
huh,
bad in the end too, because it's not black
yeah,
magic, it's a religion. It's a
uh huh,
proper
yeah,
religion.
uh huh,
So these bits of the film, it really got into me. I really didn't like that.
yeah.
But the film is
Um,
funny. The film is really funny.
it
For
is funny.
Yes,
Not always.
it's
It's not as meant to be funny, but it is.
no,
It
but
is funny. It is
it's a
funny.
very trashy film, horror
It
film.
is. Yeah, it is trashy. You're absolutely right.
Yes,
Now, the Lindsay's best known for the Seven, the Bloodstained Orchids. That's a great the Giallo type of film.
mm-hmm.
One of my favourite zombie films, Nightmare, their City, which is absolutely really good. I love that one. I don't know if you've seen that one, but that's a really really good one. Um, However, for this one, again, Rafa, it starts in the Rio.
Yes.
So I will ask you again. Can you see your house in this
Oh,
film?
but you can see Copacabana.
Aha.
You can see a lot of bits of Copacabana. So
Yeah, yeah, you can. Yeah. Uh-huh. Now it stars no one that you've ever heard of at all, or that I haven't heard of. However, there's a
yes,
couple of good their local
yes,
actresses, isn't there?
yes. They use Claire. I took the names because they are two. They use two big Brazilian actresses that I like a lot. It's Claire
Mm-hmm.
Simões.
Mm-hmm.
That's the old lady that's appear in the macumba scene in the beginning.
Yeah.
When Dick goes to the favela to
Uh-huh.
learn a little bit about macumba and candomblé, and
Yeah.
he talks with Claire Simões, and she's amazing. Unfortunately, she already died, but
Uh-huh.
she is an amazing soap opera actress in Brazil, very
Mm-hmm.
respected, and we like
Yeah.
her a lot. And then you have Maria Alves, that's Maria, that's
Yeah.
the maid in the in the in the house in the
Uh-huh.
second part of the film, and she's a big actress here in Brazil too, and they are two amazing actresses here in Brazil, but in 92, 91, they needed the money, so they did this film.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, uh, I'll, I'll, yeah. So, and then the other actors, and it's a pretty small sort of cast overall. You won't have heard of them. Um, they're all
Yes.
pretty ropey as well. They're not
Yes.
no one really stands out for giving a good performance. There a couple of them stand out for giving a bad performance.
Yes.
I would say. Um, now now it's funny. So like Umberto Lenzi's the directing credits. He's got about, I think he's probably directed about their 50 films, and their Italian cinema was very much about, they would sort of churn them out. They would make, a director like him would maybe make two or three films every year, and just sort of bash them out.
Yes.
And it was very much, he got there, there's the script, there's your actors. He didn't really have any sort of say in what he
But
got, kind of thing. So,
yes. But you can think like you could see that it could be a disaster because okay, he's a good Italian director, but
hmm
he's an Italian director that wrote the story that's in Rio with American and one British actors,
yeah,
and then you have some Brazilian actors, and the whole story it's in Rio and in Brazil
yeah,
because it's in Minas Gerais that's close to Rio,
uh huh,
and about some cultural things in Brazil, and I was like, okay, it's too much.
yeah.
It-
It gets it
Everything
wrong.
could be wrong there.
Yeah, yeah. I think. I mean, I think that you've mentioned about the portrayal of the Macumba. So what does the film get wrong, Rafa? What's it?
Everything.
Everything. Okay.
Because listen, Macumba, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It's a religion like any other religion. It's an
hmm
African religion.
Yeah.
And in the film, he talks about demons, and they are not demons. They are saints. The
hmm
orishas, they are saints, like our saints,
Uh huh.
the saints in every religion.
Yeah.
So you need to respect. It's very disrespectful. And when they call macumba black magic and they mix up with voodoo from the Central America, and I was like, wait, it's not the same thing. It's different things. It's different
hmm
religions, and they have the same roots. But the candomblé and the macumba here in Brazil, it has it's really, especially here in Rio, you know, it's very important for us. It's a religion that people from Rio respect a lot.
hmm
We have
Yeah.
the Catholic saints, and for each Catholic saint, you have the candomblé saints, the
Uh huh.
orishas.
Yeah.
So when you see a movie that tells you, listen, don't play with that because it's black magic, it's very racist because it's a African religion. What you're
Indeed.
saying is
Indeed.
that,
Yeah.
oh, the African people deal with black magic and this is not a good thing.
Yeah.
But candomblé, macumba, it's very nice. It's a very beautiful religion.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And I think as well, again, sort of language as well, Rafa, especially in the
Yes.
final, the final third, um,
Yes.
the the two of the white characters refer to
Oh,
their
yes.
Negroes, and like
Yeah,
even
that's
in 90,
awful. I was
I
like, oh
mean,
my god, shut up.
but in 1991,
Yes. That's
it's
really bad.
awful.
It's
Yeah,
awful. Yes,
yeah,
and the slaves, the slavers that come back to life, that is the zombies. I spent the whole film, you
yeah,
know, cheering for
and
us and thinking, please kill these people, kill
kill them
these
all.
stupid white people.
They're all well that and again, that's an interesting point. So all of the zombies are they black as well?
Yes,
They're all black people.
yes.
Um,
They
one
used
of
to
the
be
cat,
slavers.
yeah, yeah. And one of the white the characters, and I'm not. I think the sort of delivery, how he gives his line, but he says something like,
Oh, that's
she was attacked by a black man, but the way he says it, it's just like, oh no, don't say that. It's just
yes,
wrong.
yes. And then and even in the beginning when the guy goes to the favela to learn about the macumba, it's okay, you can do that, of course. But then he
Uh-huh.
goes there, and the old lady comes to him and asks, do you ever go to a macumba ritual? And he said, yes, I saw something in New York. And I was like, wait, stop. This is
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah. Now, to be fair, Rafa, Italian films are not known for their logic in those ways. They do wing it in lots of
Yes,
ways. I think, but even so, and there is a there is, there is, there is a racist part of this
yes.
film.
No, this film is really, really racist. A
It
lot.
is, yeah, it is.
Because you have everybody in the favela is black, and everybody uh, in the macumba thing, in the macumba scene, it's black. It's okay,
There's,
but the problem is the way they talk about it and the way they
yeah,
show it. And then
yeah,
they go to the house, and the it's like a farm, right? And the
hmm,
maid is black. It's a black woman that use voodoo. That's not voodoo. That's not
yeah,
even macumba and either voodoo. And the the Brazilian guy that's white, he's really awful to her. And I was like, oh my
yeah.
god, this is crazy. You don't. We are not like that. People in Brazil.
No. However, what is quite nice now, unfortunately, Rafa, the two main characters
Yes.
do live at the end, which is a bit of a shame. It would have been nice
Yes,
if
I would like
um,
that everybody would die.
well, especially the man.
Yes,
Yeah. However, they don't. However, some of the other horrible characters do die, and that is, I must
yes,
admit, that is one of the highlights of the film. There is some.
yes.
There's actually some nice go going on. Um,
Yes, and I like that the film. It's in the beginning. It's a demon film, and then suddenly it's a haunted house film, and in the end it's a zombie film. And I was
yeah,
like,
exactly.
wait,
Yeah.
what's going on?
What we have, what I've learned, Rafa, and I've watched so many Italian films recently, is
Mm-hmm.
that the one rule of their Italian cinema is that there are no rules, um, and this film absolutely has no rules whatsoever.
Yes,
None of it really makes sense. So, but as a highlight again, as I say, there's some nice there goer. Um, there's a lovely Italian sort of trademark when it comes to
yes,
sort of gore as eyeballs, Rafa.
yes.
So
That's
there is
that's really funny.
that is nice. I did enjoy that. Um, just to sum up as well, the horribleness of these characters. So
Mm-hmm.
don't don't call one of your characters their dick, because it didn't.
Yes, I
Uh,
left. The 9 years old girl inside of me left the whole movie with that. Because,
well, he was a dick, Rafa.
yes,
Let's be honest, he absolutely
yes,
was.
he was, but
Um,
it's funny because all the time, because his sister was the final girl. Let's talk like that.
yeah,
She's
yeah,
kind
haha.
of the final girl, and the last part of the film, she spent the whole film called for him. So she spent the whole film saying "Dick, Dick," and I was like, "Oh my god, stop!" know, this is really funny.
Yeah. Where's where is Dick? Oh no, don't.
Yes,
We
yes,
don't want to know. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go and look for Dick. Okay,
yes.
on you go.
He's your brother, this is wrong.
Yeah. Um, it's
But
uh, yeah. I mean, the gore is nice.
yes,
Some of the makeup's good.
but
Some of the zombie makeup I
I
really
miss
enjoyed.
it more. I wanted more gore. I wanted more bad deaths. I wanted
Yeah,
more
yeah.
blood and more eyes, puppet, and I wanted, I,
um,
because if you are going to give me a trash film, I really need trash deaths too.
I think it needs to be more full on, doesn't it? It
Yes.
needs to just really go for it, and it doesn't really, to be honest. It doesn't, which is a shame. Um, yeah, it's not a great film. However,
No.
I think I've enjoyed us actually talking
But
about
I
that
really
though.
think
About
that if somebody decided to redo this film, remake this
hmm
film, I think it has it has something there, and it could be a really good film
hmm
about racism, about um, how you can use in a proper way candomblé in Rio, because you
yeah,
can mix all of that. You can mix and explain that it's what's the religion, and you can mix a little bit and talk about zombies, slavers. I really like this idea.
uh-huh.
I really like that. I like the idea of the film. The execution, it
Well,
was really, really bad.
well, there you go, Rafa. You could write that film. Um, make sure all of the horrible white people are dead by the end of
Yes.
it and stuff. So yeah,
I would put some black people in the other side of the film too.
yeah, just to balance it out, that would be good. So I am going to wrap it up there, Rafa. I will say thank you very much for
Oh,
our
thank you.
tour of
Oh,
sort of
and
Rio.
before we finish, I would like to
Uh huh.
say, if you want to watch good horror films about Brazil and Brazilian culture, you can watch the Coffin Joe's film, Zé do Caixão,
Mm.
because he used to do amazing horror films, and his films he talk about the macumba, he talks about the African religions in Brazil, but in a good way, and he used that really, really beautiful.
Yeah.
So if you want to
Now,
know, if you want to
well,
see good Brazilian horror films, you could watch Coffin Joe's films.
now that is interesting, Rafa, because I did come across one the other day, and I saw the name, and I immediately thought of you. So I will watch that. I can't remember the name of it, but I did find it somewhere to watch.
Uh, he
Um,
he used to have an amazing names for his films.
yeah. So I will watch that. I think we will have to do a maybe a
Yes.
coffin show episode.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think you will have a lot of fun.
I think so. So for you, Rafa, are you getting them? Will you be getting there dressed up for their carnival?
Oh yes. Actually, I don't like Carnival too much. I like to use Carnival time to stay in and relax and watch films. But I enjoy to see people have fun at the street, because yes, it's
Yeah,
true. The streets are full of people dancing and
yeah. It
dress
must
up
be.
and have a lot of fun. It's
I think
yes,
it must. Yeah, it must be a
yes,
nice, a nice, their sort of atmosphere
yes.
around the city. Yeah.
But I like to watch the parades on the TV,
Uh huh.
and I used to go to the street. I used to go to meet my friends and spend time drinking and have fun and listen to samba and listen to the carnival songs.
Yeah.
But now I don't I don't have the age anymore to do that. I like to stay home and just relax.
I know how that feels, Rapha. I know exactly
Yes.
all about that. Yeah. We're not as young listeners as we sound,
Yes.
unfortunately. But
I
anyway, thank you, Rapha, for this taste of the Brazil from a very
yes.
Western perspective. But it's been great fun. Thank you so much.
And thank you for inviting me again. It was amazing again. I really like to. I always like to be here. I always like to talk to you. It's always a great pleasure. So
Thank you very much, Rapha. It has been lovely as always, and we will see
yeah,
you again soon.
yes, I hope so.
We will indeed. And thank you very much, everybody, for listening. Thank you. Thanks for listening to this episode of Cult Connections. Please like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and we would love it if you left a review. Follow us on Twitter at Connections Cult for more fun, share your ideas, and maybe even be on the show. Thank you.